We move on now later in the race. We've been through a series of cautions. We've had some disputes with scoring, but the leaderboard you show there are the cars that are now being posted on the lead lap. And they are Bill Elliott, Ricky Rudd, Kyle Petty, Harry Gant, Bobby Allison, and Jeff Bodine is at the front of the field, but he is at the tail end of the lead lap. And as they take the green, that's got to be a scary feeling for Jeff Bodine.
Well, he's going to do everything he can to get that lap back, and he's got to do it. We'll see what kind of adjustments they made, if they got the tire stagger right, they got the right tires on, and see if he can get that lap back. You know, he was strong in the early part of the race, and he's ran well most all day.
Well, you see the number 5 car, Jeff Bodine, who is out in front right now. He is not the leader in the race. He is at the tail of the lead lap, and if Bill Elliott should pass him, he would go a lap down. There's Bobby Allison, who's still on the lead lap, and since Bobby went independent, he struggled a little bit, but he is running very, very well today.
Bobby deserves a good run, I expect, for the Bobby Allison fans. He's had a very frustrating second half of the season anyway, and if he's going to run good, he needs to do it pretty quick.
Speaking of running, this is Ricky Rudd in car 15, who's running for the lead to try to take it away from Bill Elliott, and he does it. Ricky Rudd leads for the first time today, and the crowd here at Dover is on their feet once again. Ricky Rudd's pretty popular up here. He told me before the race that he always seems to run good at Dover, and this is another guy who could stand to get a win here late in the season. The number 15 car of Ricky Rudd, of course, engineered by Bud Moore.
Yeah, he did it very handily, too. He just drove up there, waited for Bill to move up out of the way, and drove away. But you can see right there is the kind of thing that Elliott was not doing earlier in the race. He was down in the bottom like that, too, so Gant couldn't get under him, or Rudd couldn't get under him, and now he's slipping up just a little bit. And I think probably he's pushing some himself.
Well, Elliott has now dropped back to 3rd place. It is Rudd, then Gant, and then Elliott. So Elliott not handling nearly as well as he was earlier in the race today. There you see Bobby Allison with some lap cars around him. He has had quite a run today. But right now the story is Ricky Rudd, who is out in front for the first time this afternoon here at Dover, and Bill Elliott, who is slipping back just a little bit.
I tell you, there's racing going on all the way around the racetrack. Bonnet just get, the same way. When they get back at the bottom of the racetrack, they get going. There's Elliott's got some trouble. He had a problem coming off that corner.
Something is wrong with the rear end of Elliott's car, and the crowd, some of them are sitting here stunned. Others don't know what to do. Boy, when was the last time that you saw Bill Elliott have mechanical problems like that? He has not blown a motor in over 2 years. We wonder if that could be the problem. It looks like something with the rear end. Whatever it is, Elliott has to come down pit road.
I think the crowd doesn't know what to do. They don't know what to do either. They're standing there like, man, we haven't never had this problem. What are we going to do now?
What a turn of events this is. Bill Elliott, who ran away with this race in the spring, is in the pits, and it looks like his car has serious problems.
They started to jack up one side and decided, well, they don't want to do that, so they're going around and jack up the other side. They have got a rear end problem of some sort. Look at that. They've either burnt the rear end out of it, or they've busted something back there, but there's some kind of problem in the back. And he's trying to go, and he won't go, so he's got something locked up back there. Could be spur gears, spider gears, but there's definitely a problem. I think maybe he busted a rear trailing arm or something, but he's got a serious problem back there.
Well, as you see Rudd and Gant racing for the lead, Bill Elliott has headed for the garage.
And it's going to make a difference in the point thing. You know, you talk about tightening up a point race. If Junior Johnson and them can keep going and not have any more trouble today, there's going to be a lot of difference in this thing. And some of these cars that have been a lap down has had some problems. They're going to have a good chance to get this back now because they're not going to have him pulling them as hard as they were before.
What a different complexion it throws on the race now as Elliott, I'm sure he'll do everything he can, his crew will, to get him back out there and try to run a little bit and get some Winston Cup points. But it does not look like Bill Elliott's going to have a chance at victory here today. And those two cars we just saw, and who knows, maybe even Bouchard or Kyle Petty in car number 7 could find their way to victory lane today. A lot more cars have hope now, and Bill Elliott is back in the garage area.
Well, that's for sure, but that's got to give Waldrop a little bit of an edge, or a little bit of help, or a little bit of boost or something, because they do some good running for points anyway. Now they're getting a chance to get a better chance of it.
Harry Gant to the outside of Ricky Rudd, and Harry Gant is your new leader. Gant has taken the lead away from car number 15, Ricky Rudd, and Harry Gant's tires seem to be setting in a little bit, as you have mentioned earlier today, Dick.
Well, that's true, and I think that they're learning the problems they're having with the tires earlier too. But his own car is pushing a little bit again too. You see how high he's running on the racetrack now. Boy, there's Elliott. You think he doesn't have? Just think what's going through his mind. He won the Winston Million, and the Winston Cup to him would be such a great thing, and he's sitting there just watching the points go away. Uh-oh.
That is Jeff Bodine. And something appears to be horribly wrong with his car, as you see smoke billowing out from underneath the rear end.
Yeah, it's coming out through the pipe, through the left pipe. That means busted head gasket, blown head, maybe even something a little more serious than that.
Well, let's see if he makes that hard left turn to take it into the garage area. Yes, he does, and looks like it's something very, very serious for Jeff Bodine. The yellow flag gives everybody a chance to come down now on pit road.
Well, it does, and it gives them a chance to get 4 tires. NASCAR has rescinded the rule of only 2 under the green flag because they've been having so much trouble.
4 tires all the way around for everybody. We'll be back. More racing from Dover in just a moment. Well, there's Harold Kinder now getting ready to restart this race. And Darrell Waltrip is now posted as the leader, followed by Kyle Petty, and then it's Harry Gant. So Darrell Waltrip has done a great job of just persevering on the racetrack, hanging in there, and now is posted as the race leader.
They are without a doubt the best at doing what you need to do for points. They've proven that 3 times in the past, and I'll tell you, they're starting to do it again now. They've gotten some problems during the race. They've had some handling problems. They've gotten those solved, and he's strong.
Look at Harry Gant coming up on the outside. Kyle Petty and Harry racing side by side. That's the race for second place. Darrell Waltrip has hung in there all day and right now leads this Delaware 500. At one time, he was 2 laps down to the rest of the field. But with all the cautions we've had in this race and all the problems of everybody's car, Darrell Waltrip's been able to make up some ground. Harry Gant is running in second place. And now Harry goes high on the racetrack to the outside. Harry wants the lead back. And Harry Gant puts his nose in front of Darrell Waltrip. And Gant, as you hear the crowd roaring in the background, they like Harry here. He's the defending champion of this race, as we've said. And Harry Gant now leads the Delaware 500. Waltrip is in second place. 2 cars now remain on the lead lap. Darrell Waltrip is about 16 seconds behind Harry Gant. Harry Gant is the leader, half a lap ahead. We are down near the end of this race. We're heading down towards the white flag and 1 lap to go. Harry Gant, if he can hold on, and fuel is a bit of a question right now. Will he make it this final lap? He's got to be cutting it close.
Well, you'd think he would. Now, you've seen the 15 car come in a while ago and take on fuel, and Harry didn't pit, and neither did Junior with the 11 car, so I don't know. It's going to be close.
Well, Harry's lead is about half a lap now, so if Harry can just hold it together as he comes into turn 3, he will win this race for the 2nd year in a row. Gant's in the turn now. The crowd on their feet. Here comes Harry down the front straightaway. He takes a checkered flag from Harold Kinder, and Harry Gant has won the Delaware 500. Darrell Waltrip finishes second, and Harry Gant persevered and hung up all day long.
I tell you, he did something with his cold, didn't it?
Oh, it's got to make him feel good. And Waltrip is out of gas. He is flat out of gas.
I'll tell you, I don't know. Those guys were cutting it awful close. Of course, when one of them didn't stop, the other one couldn't either. They had to go.
We'll look at the final results. It's Harry Gant, Darrell Waltrip, the only 2 on the lead lap. Ricky Rudd a lap down, but he was the leader at the halfway point and wins the Barclays America Run for the Money, an extra $10,000. Then it was Bobby Allison, Neil Bonnet, Tim Richmond, Dale Earnhardt, Ron Bouchard, Richard Petty, and Lake Speed. Let's go down now to Mark Garrow in Victory Lane.
In Victory Lane of the Delaware 500, Harry Gant is living proof that history does repeat itself. For the 2nd straight year, he wins this 500-mile test on this 1-mile super speedway. An up and down day, Harry. It didn't look like it was going to be your day at the beginning, but you kept in there and pedaling as fast as you could, and it came up for you.
Well, you know, we had up and downs all day, but I knew we could win the race. Other people had to have the same trouble. And, you know, we made up a lap there one time. I was a little disappointed when NASCAR moved us back. But they couldn't nobody beat our car today. I just said, all I got to do is be patient. Travis kept telling me on the radio not to run too hard and blister the tires. So that's what I done. I just rode easy and won the race.